TheorySabers.com.
To be honest, with the stuff that they've been releasing, I really wouldn't be surprised if it is Embo, and that's like the main baddie.
That would be so bad.
I would just rather they set up a bigger villain, you know, a Dark Jedi, something akin to that. Mando's kind of tough because you want to give him an interesting villain, but you can't go full Force sensitive because he's just going to get crushed.
Yeah.
You could do Empire stuff, like make cool new tech like they did with Moff Gideon. But again, they've done that. So I think that they really wrote themselves into a corner with this Mando movie. What I thought they were going to do and what I thought was going to be epic was like a Mandalorian civil war between like Bo-Katan and like Din Djarin. And there was going to be conflict and people picking sides. I mean, even if they came out with a new movie and called it The Mandalorian Civil War, I feel like more people would be way into that.
Yeah, but you'd have to divorce him from Grogu. That's the problem, is Grogu is meant to be on the temple. He's meant to deal with Mando problems and start a new enclave, or, you know, they just can't. As long as they're together, they're going to half-ass stories because they're two disparate stories that they need to tell. I agree. Like, look at KOTOR 2. If you remember when Canderous Ordo created a new enclave for the Mandalorians, and he was Mandalore the Preserver, and just how that, like, Mandalorian lore is innately so interesting without the Force, and they just can't do it. They can't stop selling Grogu toys.
So you would want to lean in fully to Mando stuff. Like,
I want a show called The Mandalorians that ended with Grogu going off with Luke, and then Luke to start his new Jedi Order with Grogu as his first student. Thank you. That's just cool. I would have been done. Happy as Larry. We got two separate series.
That would make too much sense, Dash.
No. Imagine if I was in the room there and they just pointed at the whiteboard that says like lesbian dinosaurs. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll leave. I'm sorry.
That's too easy, Dash.
Yeah, no. Hard mode, baby.
We have to make this as difficult on ourselves as humanly possible. No, I think this Mando movie's tough. It's tough. It's going to be make or break. It's an odd choice, first off, because, you know, everybody associates Star Wars with the Force, with lightsabers. So to have the big climactic return to the big screen and have it not be based around that is a bigger risk than I think a lot of executives at Disney realize. What we've learned is they're just looking at it strictly by numbers. I mean, the second I heard that Grogu had been like the first Star Wars character in like 10 years to outsearch Darth Vader in Google, do you guys remember hearing that?
This is outrageous.
That like Grogu.
Now that you said it, trips something. That's, my brain doesn't accept it, but it does. But that's the power of normies. Like, that's why we're so antiquated in Disney's eyes. That's why they want the normal, you know, the audience, the people who play games on their mobile phone, like, versus hardcore. You know what I mean? They want just casual fans, because that's where you can get the people who just buy the Grogu and they don't dig into the lore and they don't question shit. They're like, I see it, but it just hurts my heart, dude.
Yeah. But then at the same time, they do stuff like they give Andor his own show. So it's like, it's two separate like trains of thought, where Grogu is hugely popular, so we have to push him. But then it's like Andor, I don't think anyone was walking out of Rogue One being like, Cassian Andor was the greatest character I've ever seen. But it's, maybe they just saw an opportunity to tell a different story than what they were used to in Star Wars, which is what I would feel is the overarching theme of sort of this Disney era. Is this is not the Star Wars that you know. This is our Star Wars. This is our takes on it. And that just seems like a counterintuitive way to approach a franchise. You know, we're not going to give people what they want to see. We want to give people what, you know, we think is good for us, or I don't understand them. I think that there's a lot of powerful people over there that are just not Star Wars fans, or at least not fans of Star Wars legends. I mean, they even came out, Kathleen Kennedy's famous quote that there is no source material.
We don't have source material.
They could have come out and they said, we love all these stories. We love these renditions of these characters, but we're going to take it a different direction. Sort of like Zack Snyder said about Batman. But they even went another level lower, which was there is no source material. They didn't even admit to having indulged in any of it. They just straight up said, to us, it doesn't exist.